If 10 million cars flow smoothly off the Detroit production lines every year, there's nothing smooth or systematic about what happens to those 10 million cars a few years later when they reach the end of their own line. It can cost more to fix a car than the car is worth. Sometimes it can cost more just to tow it to a garage than the car is worth. So a lot of them are abandoned after an accident. It isn't long after that the Vandals go to work. A halfway decent set of tires won't last an hour on an abandoned car. We set up a camera on the roof of a house opposite a wounded car on a New York City street and watched what happened over a period of 14 hours. The car was left sometime during the night. We started filming about 10 a.m. The first interested party we saw wanted to check things out. We couldn't tell whether he was interested in the legal issues, like who owns it, or the radio. Maybe he just wanted a good book to read. The license plates go quickly. Maybe the owner himself decided to take them. Once they're gone, the car is legally abandoned. There has never been a toy devised for kids that they like as much as one they improvise themselves. It's a feature never emphasized in new car ads, but abandoned cars provide a lot of city kids with some of their happiest hours. I suppose that might be the answer to the old car problem. For $15 or $20, each of us could give our younger children an abandoned car for Christmas. Of course, there are always a few spoil sports who don't approve of kids having a good time. Some don't care, of course. You get right out of that car and get home. Looks like a perfectly good aerial here. Finally, the old pro arrived, the cool cat who knew something about abandoned cars. Let's see here. Rear end looks okay. The parts of a car are worth more separately than together. A generator could bring $15, a carburetor $20. A set of used tires with a little rubber left might bring $7 or $8 apiece. Don't you wish you could get your car checked this carefully when you bring it into a garage? Of course, what really matters is what's under the hood and underneath everything. A neat mechanic always puts things back the way he found them. The car has been here for something like 18 hours now, but it's still being checked. The dog isn't interested in checking. The kids want to make sure all the easily removable goodies, like the radio, are gone. At midnight, we quit. The Vandals were still at work. The Vandals go after anything left out in the open. Not even something as sturdy as a fire alarm call box is safe. False alarms cost the city of Chicago 25% of its firefighting budget last year. 1 out of every 3 calls in Philadelphia was a false alarm put in by a vandal. Half the time when the firemen do find something burning, it is something that would not have burned if it hadn't been set on fire. Most of the fires are not very serious, but they consume the time of the firemen and frequently take them away from a fire that is serious. Vandalism is often for kicks and excitement. American fathers and mothers have a high regard for aggressiveness, and it must rub off on American kids. The most aggressive is often the most admired. I double dare you to. Some of what is called vandalism, when a parks department lists what it has to spend for fixing or repairing things, can hardly be called malicious destruction. A lot of it is kids doing the sort of thing kids have always done. It might be called harmless, except that a lot of expensive equipment put there for everyone is broken by a few. Everyone knows that half the fun of playing with something is using it in a way it was not intended to be used. These used to be swings for the young children in this area. The chains that hung from the crossbar have been cut down because the older boys and girls use them as weapons of war. Deliberate vandalism, when someone makes a conscious effort to destroy something, apparently just for the hell of it, is harder to understand. It's difficult to get pictures of a vandal in action. We were filming something else when this mindless young man idly tried to tear a tree down. In 1970, a Senate Committee on Juvenile Delinquency found that there had been a 35% increase in incidents of vandalism in the previous 3-year period. One of the unfortunate physical laws governing the universe is the one that says it takes 4 times as long to clean something up as it does to make a mess of it. The vandals assume there will always be someone on hand to pick up, clean up, or repair the damage they have done. It's hard to begin a report like this without having some preconceived notions of what you're going to find. We had some, but a strange thing happened in the course of the filming we did. Nothing seemed to fit precisely our idea of what vandalism was. We kept going back to the dictionary. Kids writing on walls isn't malicious, it's a call for attention. Throwing beer cans in the woods isn't willful anything, it's slovenly. Chopping down trees in a national park is stupidity. Taking parts from a Cadillac in a rail yard is theft. Tipping over tombstones or killing the animals in a children's zoo isn't the work of vandals, it's the work of someone very sick. In spite of our discomfort, we called them all vandals. Basically, it's that those of us who like things the way they are try to keep them that way. Those who are dissatisfied try to destroy them. In ancient Rome, the Vandals won. Here, the battle rages. That's our report on the Vandals.
This has been a presentation of ABC News.